Hello, it's that time again. Get up, get off the couch, and tackle your own to-do list. Stay tuned. Hello, Hamilton. Welcome to the Just Ask Bob show. I am your host, Bob Assadourian. Welcome to the season premiere, Season 6, Episode 1. We're going to kick it off with some very heartfelt thank yous. Thank you to Bill Custers at Cable 14. Thank you to Jeff Patterson. Thank you to James McMillan. And a warm thank you to all the other people and the great staff at Cable 14 that help assist with this production. I want to make sure the viewers understand every episode is based on an email. So it doesn't matter what time of the year, whether we're in production or out of production. Bob's receptive. Send us an email, visit the site, and you can quick submit, www.justaskbob.com, or pick up the phone, 289-649-0196. While we can't guarantee that every email will be featured as a show, I do promise to the viewers I will always respond to your questions. Now, in the off time, we've got a folder here just full of emails, all types of emails, but what I want to focus on today is a very special one with regards to sealing the exterior of your home. I like to call it the envelope of your home, sealing it and preparing it before the winter time. Now, why? Because you could have a small amount of damage on your home that's very cost affordable to repair. Let the winter pass, that damage can get worse. Water can enter the home, you can have mold growth, rainwater, melting snow can get up under the shingles, cause damage in the attic, all types of problems that can end up costing you a fortune in the springtime. And it can also cost you a lot of unnecessary hardship to your family and to your home. So what we've got today is we've got a marathon of tips. We're going to run with them, Hamilton. We have all types of aspects from the foundation to the roof and just about everything in between. Now, because of the height issues or safety issues for many of these upcoming segments you're going to see, to keep the great people at Cable 14 safe, we used our own employees in our crew, so big shout out behind the camcorder to Mr. Andy Garcia and Frank Loricella for putting themselves at risk, helping us record these segments on these jobs. Now, at times, the footage may be shaky, may not be the most professional, but we are professionals and we're dedicated to you, the viewer. Enjoy the show. Do these look familiar? See these in your backyard, front yard, left and right of your home? Blown off shingles. Very important you address these before the winter sets in. Now, this is where it's come off, and this isn't that big a deal. However, I strongly recommend that you tie yourself off and you feel comfortable working on a rooftop, or else call in a licensed professional. Now, we've talked about this on a lot of past shows, and you can even find it on our website where we actually did the repair. You want to use DAP, black polyurethane, 2 beads of polyurethane, cover the nail, put the shingle tab down, bang it in place. And if you're sensitive, I recommend gloves. Bob's a lot of things, but he's not very sensitive. Make certain, look over the rest of your roof. What you want to do is, if you want to focus in here, you want to grab at the tab and make sure it's intact. If the tab's intact, you're fine. If the tab flips up, first strong wind gust, it's going to blow it right off and it'll land on the side of your property. This is called the stink pipe. This is connected to your home's entire plumbing system. This is letting air in behind the water, which allows the water to flow. If this ever got clogged or a bird's nest or whatnot, it must be cleaned out. This is the stink pipe flashing. This rubber membrane goes under the shingles. There's 3 nails through the flashing into the shingles. Every nail through the penetration of the roof is a potential leak. Apparently somebody's applied some kind of colored primer. That's not adequate. what you want to do, again using DAP, you want to coat the nail heads, just like that. And while we're here, we're going to reattach the shingle tab. Tamp it down. Caulking, very, very important to have all the outside windows and doors properly caulked. Now, for some reason here, the capping on the window is missing the caulking at the top. You can see the caulking along the sides. You can see where the flashing connects up before the glass, but nothing here. What I recommend, and it's been a Bob's top pick on many shows, is the white caulking from DAP. This is actually polyurethane. Not every job's easy to get to. Today we're talking about eaves troughs, the importance to properly seal the joints so you don't have a water drip throughout the winter. This is temperature sensitive work. This really shouldn't be done too far into the middle of October. You want at least 5 degrees Celsius, 24 hours prior and 24 hours after you've done the sealant. If you want to focus in here for the viewers at home, this is the existing corner. It's a miter, it's an angle. This is the sealant. Obviously, this isn't doing anything. Look at the debris in here. Everything has to be cleaned out. Then you're going to use acetone to wash the surface. It wouldn't even hurt to sand it lightly if there's any rust in there. You have to be absolutely clean before you apply the sealant product. What I recommend is the Seammate. Phenomenal product. I've been using this for the last 7 years. Never had a callback. Never had an issue. Eaves trough brackets, eaves trough clips. These have been used for about the last 15 years. This part catches in the front of the eaves trough. This part clips over the back. Beautiful method, very strong. Now, if your Hamilton home has the old system, which is the spikes, so if you look around your home and you've got the nails sticking out, every now and then you've got to hit them with the hammer, but the hole gets worn out. A screw always has better holding power than a nail. Very important to address these before the winter. You don't want your eaves troughs coming loose. Once they fill up in the winter with water, they ice up and they become heavy. So to put these in, you clip this in here, then you pull back, clip it onto the back end, and then you need a drill. These will hold the eaves trough and they'll sturdy it. So you could go around your home installing them between the nails, if that's what you have. Please do not ever let your eaves troughs get to this point. Obviously, this homeowner was not on top of their to-do list. This has got to be the worst Bob's ever seen. I mean, if we want to talk about possible damage, this is the outlet. This is where the water drains into the downspout. I don't know how much more of this is growing downward. Pine cones. Look at all this crap. Now, as the eaves trough fills up and the downspouts plug up, what's going to happen is the rain comes down, eaves trough has nowhere to go, fills up to the top, water eventually gets under the shingles, under the drip edge, will cause mold, rot, and damage inside. Do not procrastinate. Make sure this is done the latest October each year. And again, every home is different, depending on what your vegetation is, tall trees, quite an abundance of trees or a lack thereof. Once, twice a year or more, clean out the eaves troughs. Bob's gonna get busy here. This siding is coming loose. See the panel? Now I want to push down and in. It snaps back into itself. That's a starter strip. And then you see the siding, how it's curved. It's basically a male-female connection. So you want to pull down and bang. Now we're talking flashing. Flashing is always at the intersection. You've got a brick wall, you have an asphalt shingle roof, you have flashing at the intersection. Now the caulking in this case isn't doing much. We'll pull it off. Quick fix for this, 2 Tapcons, pre-drill, fasten the Tapcons, re-caulk it. Absolutely critical before the winter sets in, or else water's gonna get into the attic and cause mold. Once again, this is about a 10-year-old build, new home construction, and it's disgusting what they do. Take it from Bob. If you're ever gonna have anybody attach anything to your home's brick wall, whether it's a downspout, whether it's a garden hose reel, drill into the brick. The brick has the strength, the mortar does not. Why do installers drill through the mortar? Because it's easy and it's fast. Now, these downspouts, pretty well the standard across the whole city, the whole province. They take a piece of aluminum, they screw it into the mortar joint with a blue or yellow plastic anchor. Then they fold the aluminum over and they tack it on this side. Now this may seem okay, but when you look at the height, and again, this goes up 2 stories, so if you can look all the way up to the top, sometimes there can be quite some length there. The problem is, depending on the weather conditions in the winter, this will freeze up solid. It will weigh a tremendous amount, and it does come loose. Many jobs I can think over the last 17 years, dead of winter, homeowner calls, the downspouts come off the wall and it's on the ground. Very expensive because it's cold out, difficult to find a contractor, and even for the homeowner to be pitching ladders in the middle of the winter, not a good idea. Now, I don't like these straps. What I prefer using are these. Obviously the right color for your downspout, the right color for your home. You simply bend it. You use downspout screws to attach into the downspout, and then you don't line it up on a joint. No, you go right on the brick. Once you attach 2 or 3 of these, depending on the length, your downspout's never going to come off. You are not going to have any problems at all. You'll need a powerful drill, you'll need a Tapcon bit, and you'll need the blue Tapcon anchors. Let's talk about utilities now. This conduit, I've caulked the top here. There wasn't a capping. This is how the utilities do it. If you leave this open long enough, you're going to end up getting all the rainwater in, and it's going to make its way into the basement. Now, this here is for reading the water meter. I've done a nice bead of caulking around it. You want to keep it sealed. Any utility points penetrating the envelope of your home, doesn't matter if it's Bell, doesn't matter if it's the water meter, exhaust fans, gas pipes for your natural gas supply to your furnace, everything needs to be caulked and sealed. Speaking of caulking, DAP, life expectancy is 50 years. Now, you know what Bob's beliefs and statements are when it comes to manufacturing propaganda. Even if you cut that number in half and you get 25 years, cut that in half again to 12.5. It's still a phenomenal product to use. Termination vents. This one in particular is for the bathroom exhaust fan. Now, many seasons I've discussed this. Once again, builders crap, specifically new home builders. For the homeowner, these are probably $5 at the big box store. The builder probably gets them for $2 and change. You see the flap? How many times have you driven around Hamilton and you see 2 of the flaps missing? I see this everywhere. Now, when you cut the crooked and overcharging contractor out of the equation, reinvest back in yourself, back into your home. This is approximately $20. This is what should have been installed in the beginning. Metal, plastic. Nice metal screen. Perfect DIY project, obviously before the winter arrives. You want to cut the caulking, you want to pull out the screws, install. The holes are already pre-made for the screws, and then you caulk it. We've got our work cut out for us. For the viewers at home, we have a brick that was dislodged, probably I'm assuming when the 2x4 was attached for the gate. Now we've cleaned out the excess mortar. We've also put in a wedge back here to try to keep the brick level. Items like this are absolutely critical that they're done before the winter. Any type of tuck pointing. This is pretty bad here, but even minor, you want to always fill it in. We already pre-mixed our mortar, and we've actually dampened the surface. So we're going to start filling this. This is a very difficult trade to work on. You have to be clean. This mortar should not contact the brick. It will definitely stain it permanently. You can go around your home. If it's an older Hamilton home with a block foundation, then the same principle applies to the block joints. You want to make sure that they're always filled in. Now on this side, it's going to be a deep cavity. We want to do our best to stay neat. With any type of pointing work, it's all about the penetration. If you don't have penetration, you have nothing. We don't want 1/8 of an inch fills. You want to fill it at least 3/4 of an inch. I hope your chimney does not look like this one. Somebody forgot the cap. Now, typically, let me give you an example. If you try to take this brick out, it's going to take you hours and hours. Because we've got gravity, we've got the weight of all the brick on top. The very last brick, well, not that loose, but they really don't hold well because there's no gravity. There's no weight, nothing holding it down. Now, if your chimney does look like this before the winter, you want to install a concrete chimney cap. We have one right here. This is just beautiful. It's got the opening for the flue. This opening is, I believe, 8x12. You can also purchase them with an 8x8. What determines that is the size of the clay flue coming out of the chimney. Beautiful unit. It's precast concrete. Let me flip it around now. They're very, very heavy. Now on the back, it has a pre-made cut drip edge. This is important because the other side that faces the sky is pre-sloped. So the water will drip down. When the water gets to here, it hits the drip edge and it drips off straight. The water doesn't get a chance to get over and damage the face of the brick. Now if your chimney looks like this, you're going to need a lot more than just a chimney cap. These bricks possibly should be replaced, but at the minimum, you want to tuck point them. Tuck pointing, which is the masonry art of filling in the horizontal and vertical joints with mortar. Now we're not installing this today. I'm just going to set it down for a moment. You're going to apply a bed of mortar. You're going to lift the cap in place. You're going to level it in both directions. And above all, don't leave it without a cap through the winter. I hope you've enjoyed our marathon. Now I realized in order to keep up with attacking as many aspects of repairs around the outside of your home, we really didn't spend a lot of time on each item. Now we proudly have nearly 60 half-hour home improvement shows on our site, www.justaskbob.com. Now, whatever exterior component of your home during the segment that you caught and you need to address that, more than likely, somewhere on our site, you will find an episode that relates to that in much greater detail, and you can pause, fast forward, and rewind and learn at your own pace. Now, one item we talk about that often, that on many other seasons, that's extremely important, is the licensing aspect in Hamilton. Hamilton is a community that does regulate and license their master contractors. Now, that's really important because throughout the province, unless you're an electrician or you work with gas, you're provincially licensed. Us people who do dozens and dozens of items in your home, right from structure to plumbing to flooring to doors and windows, the province disrespects us. They do not license us because we're not a single point specialty trade like an electrician or a gas man. So throughout the province, some municipalities license their general contractors, some do not. In the case of Hamilton, your contractor will write a 2-hour examination on the Ontario Building Code, show proof of liability insurance, and pass a police check. That's what's critical. So the license is there. Make sure you ask for it. Now we're going to kick into Bob's Bewares and Bob's Top Picks. For today's episode, okay, let's be fair to the good folks at DAP. We're going to call this a conditional Bob's Beware. This product is rated for doors and windows. I don't believe it qualifies as a caulking for doors and windows. It's only $2 and change. However, what it works great for is painter's caulking. That unsightly gap between your baseboards and your door and trim, that works perfectly for it. We use it for that, but I would beware and not use it outside on doors and windows. For outside, for a top pick, we have same manufacturer, made by DAP. However, this is a polyurethane type of caulking. This product is phenomenal. This product, as they say, is claimed to last up to 50 years. Even with propaganda and manufacturer sales marketing exaggerations, even if you got half the life expectancy or half of half, you're still doing well. Now, this comes in white for doors and windows. Same product comes in gray, typically for brick, block, and stone. Works beautiful for that gap between your foundation and your walkway. And the product also comes in black, obviously for roofing applications. Now, I've talked about this before, and it's the truth. As far back as 12, maybe 13 years ago, I caulked the nail heads on roofing vents. I've been back up there, and I've looked at those dabs of this product. They haven't swollen, they haven't cracked, they have not come loose. This product is worth its weight in gold. Believe me, I'm very experienced in using it. Hamilton, I cannot say it enough. When you follow our advice, there is a focus of our show. The focus is to teach you DIY skills. Bob wants you to learn to do it yourself. And I always work hard to motivate you to get up, get off the couch, and tackle your own to-do list. Now, for whatever reason, safety, or you just don't feel like it, and you have to hire a contractor, we also teach you the licensing requirements, the licensing skills, what to look out for. But remember, when you cut the crooked and overcharging contractor out of the equation, those savings are substantial. Reinvest them into buying the best products for you and your home. Follow us on the net, www.justaskbob.com. Again, that's www.justaskbob.com. Or if you're old school, like Bob is, pick up the phone and call Bob, 289-649-0196. Again, that's 289-649-0196. Thank you, Hamilton. Hello, it's that time again. Get up, get off the couch, and tackle your own to-do list.
Wait, your fly's open. No, I'm just kidding.